So it's been several years now since Mortal Kombat 11 released on the Nintendo Switch, and with Mortal Kombat 1 just days away, I figured it would be a great time to finally make a Is MK11 on the Switch good video. I'm someone who has put several hundred hours into the Nintendo Switch version of Mortal Kombat 11.
There's no way that can be right!
We are dealing with someone here who has absolutely no life.
And it's my second most played fighting game on the system, next to Dragon Ball FighterZ. And like with any game, Mortal Kombat 11 has a lot of things that are good and a lot of things that are not so good. We're gonna be going over that, so let's just start with a thing that will be a major sticky point with a lot of people. Let's not mince words here. The graphics for Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch are nowhere near the quality of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. But you know, obviously going into it, I doubt anyone actually expected the Nintendo Switch version to stack up to the other versions in that regard. And on its own, it really doesn't look that bad, but when you've got side-by-side comparisons, the difference really sticks out. But it's not like you're gonna be playing the Switch and PS4 versions right next to each other, right? Like, who does that?
Weird.
But the performance is where the Nintendo Switch version of Mortal Kombat 11 really shines. It isn't that great visually, but performance-wise, while it does feel a bit laggier than the PS4 version when you're going through the menus and stuff, the gameplay feels pretty smooth offline and online as well if you're going up against someone with a halfway decent connection. There are also some differences between the Switch version and the other versions of Mortal Kombat 11 when you're in the character select screen and even in the stadium select screen. In the character select screen, your chosen character will be animated on the PS4 version, while on the Switch version, you're only gonna see a still image. When you get to the stadium select screen and even the loading screen, the PS4 version will present you with some pretty cool gameplay silhouettes, while this is completely absent in the Switch version. Neither of these things really affect the gameplay at all, but I figured I'd just throw it in there, you know. In order to unlock most things in the game, you have to use the game's pseudo RPG mode, where you take a random character through a very pixelated overworld, and you have to open various chests while also fighting enemies along the way. I personally found this mode to be kind of a chore. I was not a fan. I did not like it one bit. I was not a fan, and needing to go through it really soured my experience in the game. Mortal Kombat 11 is also heavy on the microtransactions. Unlocking even seemingly simple things like variations of characters like Kitana and Jade without their masks requires a lot of in-game currency. Oh, and the crypt is also locked behind online, so you can't access this mode at all without going online. So you're kind of SOL if your internet connection is acting up. So this is one major negative that I see with this game. Not just the Switch version, but with MK11 as a whole. It's bad enough that you have to wade through so many crappy microtransactions, but then you don't even get access to things that you earned if you're offline. This is even true for the story mode and the arcade mode. Like, don't get me wrong, you can play them offline, but you won't have access to anything that you unlock unless you're online. This is a big reason why, if you noticed my character select screen earlier, all of the DLC character slots were blacked out because I never bought any DLC for this game. Even though I did like some of the DLC characters, in my opinion, I just cannot support this sort of system, you know. It's very anti-consumer if you ask me. The story mode in Mortal Kombat 11, from what I recall, was pretty entertaining. I did like it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I would say Mortal Kombat 11 is an example of how fighting games should handle story modes. But one thing that I thought was kind of funny is that the Switch version of MK11 story mode takes a cue from the Vita version of Mortal Kombat 9, where the cutscenes are pre-rendered video, so they're not actually running on the system themselves. I'm speaking here of the cutscenes. So all the cutscenes in Mortal Kombat 11 for the Switch are literally just videos. So when the game transitions from cutscene to gameplay, you really notice how rough those graphics really are. I expect they're probably gonna do the same thing with Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch. Mortal Kombat 11 is, in my estimation, probably the third most active fighting game in terms of user base that I've played on the Nintendo Switch, with the first being Super Smash Bros. And the second being Dragon Ball FighterZ. So here's me logging back onto Mortal Kombat 11 on the Nintendo Switch for the very first time after like probably close to a year And this is how long it takes me to find a match. See that? Not even 5 seconds. Not even 5 seconds. In this case, the guy did decline to fight me, but it just goes to show how active the game still is. I was able to get connected to someone in less than 5 seconds. And as far as the online goes, it's not the worst. Okay, it's not the worst. If I'm gonna compare the quality of the online in Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch to other Switch fighting games, I would say it's better than Super Smash Bros., but worse than Dragon Ball FighterZ. I know when I was trying to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, there was always very heavy lag behind every single move, and it just felt completely unplayable to me. Like, I dropped that game like a bad habit after like 2 weeks of trying to play the online. Like, it was so bad. I don't think I ever experienced a single good connection in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, not even once. Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Switch is leagues above that, while still not being great when compared to the other versions of Dragon Ball FighterZ, particularly the Steam version. Mortal Kombat 11 sits somewhere in between. One of the major issues of playing Mortal Kombat 11 online for the Switch is that most people on the Switch are going to be playing it on Wi-Fi, right? And as an aside, you can buy a third-party LAN adapter for the early Switch models, and the OLED model comes with an Ethernet port already installed. So if you like playing fighting games on the Switch, I implore you
think about this.
to either buy a LAN adapter for your Switch or connect your OLED Switch to a wired connection. Like, believe me, that makes a world of difference in the quality of your online matches. So that's Mortal Kombat 11 on the Nintendo Switch. Mortal Kombat 1 will be releasing on the 14th for those of you who pre-ordered the premium edition, and on the 19th for everyone else. And once I've got my hands on it, I'll let you know how it runs on the Switch. Well, I hope you guys got something from this review. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more online fighting games, combo videos, tutorials, and video game news. I'm Switchplayed. Done.